what's best for America, what's best for American citizens, what's best for American taxpayers, what's best for American jobs. That's it, period. Number 10, give Israel 100% of our support and kill the Iran deal. Number 11, appoint true conservatives to the Supreme Court. And here's the big one. Number 12, investigate and prosecute the politicians who have committed crimes against you, the American people. What if the main thing Donald accomplishes, other than cutting taxes and regulations and building the wall, is cleaning up the DC cesspool, holding the politicians accountable, and bringing criminals to justice? What if he sends Hillary Clinton to prison? You like that, huh? What if he prosecutes top IRS officials who targeted and persecuted conservatives like me? They tried to silence and destroy my life, and it's time to turn the tables and put them in prison. What if he prosecutes everyone involved with the fraud of Obamacare? Everyone who said, if you like your insurance, you can keep it. You mean that alone isn't worth the price of admission of President Donald J. Trump? Folks, Donald Trump is a conservative. He's not a perfect conservative, but on the issues that matter, he'll be the most conservative president since Reagan. How can I be so sure? Just mention Trump's name to any liberal and watch their heads explode. So I have a message in closing to all Republicans and conservatives. Stop listening to the whiners, the complainers, and the losers. Stop listening to the GOP establishment big shots, angry that GOP voters told them to shove it where the sun don't shine. This isn't their party anymore. It's our party. It's Donald Trump's party. Stop listening to the consultants, the strategists, the lobbyists, the lawyers, the donors, angry that Trump has left them out of the game. Listen to me carefully, Republicans and conservatives. In life, we all have to make choices. This November, we're given two choices: Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. There is no choice. One is a career politician and crook who has defrauded and deceived and ripped off you, the American people. And the other is one of the most brilliant businessmen and leaders of our time. And if elected, Donald will make that career politician and crook pay for her lifetime of crimes against the American people. Last thing, Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan. If you don't agree with Donald Trump, shut up and go away. If you don't vote for Trump, you should never call yourself a conservative again. You should never call yourself a capitalist again. You should never call yourself a patriot again. You should never call yourself an American again. God bless America. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I have a special treat for you. Let me now introduce one of my local Nevada heroes, my favorite Nevada Republican, son of the greatest college basketball coach in history, a lawyer, a real estate developer, a patriot, a true conservative, and our next United States Congressman from CD3, Danny Tarkanian.
Good morning, my fellow Nevadans. I want to start off because I got all my family here with the Trump supporters. Will you wave? Amy, my wife, my little kids, Lois, Ava, Ashley, and Jerry. America has always been the land of opportunities. If you worked hard, you did what was right, and you were personally responsible and never gave up, you had a chance to achieve your dreams. But sadly, the America that we have known about and loved is slowly slipping away. We have a society now where more and more people feel that they're entitled to have government provide for them. We have a society where people say Americans won't work certain jobs, such as farm work, that these jobs are beneath them. My mother worked those jobs. The former governor of Nevada, Kenny Gwynn, worked those jobs. Those jobs weren't beneath them. We have establishment politicians. They spend too much, they tax too much, and they create unreasonable regulations that are crippling businesses and stifling prosperity. Our political elite, they tell us how we should educate our children, what health care is best for our families, what we should eat, how we must practice our faith, and even what words we should say. They got their own language. It's called political correctness. They want to prevent us from saying such factual terms such as radical Islamists and illegal immigrations. Slowly but surely, those sacred individual liberties that were bestowed upon each of us are being eroded away. Ladies and gentlemen, our nation's at a crossroads. We can continue down this current path and be another failed nation that was destroyed from within, or we can embrace the ideas and values that have made America the greatest nation on earth. And today's election, this upcoming election, is going to determine which path America follows. Nevadans, we are at the epicenter of this upcoming election. Our nation's eyes and hopes are upon us. As a battleground state, Nevada will help determine who will be elected president. We can elect a man who will make America great again. And the alternative is someone that will say and do anything just to get elected, and who feels that she's entitled to be president because she perceives herself as political royalty. Now, once we get Trump elected, he will need a Republican-controlled Senate to enact his ideas and policies. Nevada is the only state in the country that can change a Senate seat from Democrat to Republican. And best of all, you know whose seat that is? Harry Reid's, yes. As with the Senate, we need to keep Congress in Republican hands. And the only way the Democrats can take control of Congress is if they win Nevada's Congressional District 3, the race that I'm running in. Now, we're not going to let that happen, are we? Donald Trump, Joe Heck, and I, we need your help. Our nation needs your help. We need you to sign up, volunteer, go to work, and help all of us make America great again. Thank you very much.
I want to thank you all for coming out. I know we got a long line still coming in, but what's important, just a few words. I'm Michael McDonald. I'm your state Republican Party chairman. We've had people on that line all throughout the United States. The furthest one was Montana. We also had a very special guest fly in from Utah, James Evan. He's the chairman of Utah. He's here to support Donald J. Trump for the presidency of the United States. That's what it takes. It's about teamwork. And that team, let me tell you, is doing everything for Mr. Trump. I was back there in August with Corey Lewandowski and his entire team. I can tell you they've done a great job. More importantly, Charles Munoz, our own Charles Munoz, and his team that put Mr. Trump over the top. We need your support. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to the people that are not Republican. I want to talk to the other parties. If you're better off than you were 8 years ago, you don't need to vote. If your life is better off than it was 8 years ago, you're fine. If your health insurance is better than it was 8 years ago, you don't need to vote. But if you're like a working man like me, and every day we struggle and we put our lives on the line to make sure this America is better, that's Donald J. Trump. That's the man you want to get behind. And we need you. You're our team. We need you to do everything you possible. Come out, get your neighbors, get behind them. Do not let anybody sit idle. If you're tired of seeing American blood spilled on our own shores, and you want to make America great again, ladies and gentlemen, I beg you, stand with me and Mr. Donald J. Trump and take back the White House. God bless you, and God bless your families.
All right, welcome, everyone. We are coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada, at Treasure Island. We are in the Mystique Theater in Treasure Island in Vegas. I'm getting on the mic real quick. Just to say thank you for choosing us as your stream of choice. And also, press 1 if you guys want to play the polling game. If you don't know what that is, I basically say, ask you guys a question or read a sentence, and if you guys agree with it, you press 1. If you disagree with it, you press 2. So let me know if you guys want to play. Press 1 if you want to play. Alright, so we got an overwhelming one. So I had some questions here. Let's see. Alright, so first question is, does the EPA have too much power? Press 1 if you agree. Press 2 if you disagree. Again, does the EPA have too much power? Press 1 if you agree, press 2 if you disagree. I agree. The EPA has way too much power. It keeps taking lands away from people and all that other stuff in Nevada and all those areas. So I agree. I also press 1. And look at all those people on the chat. Wow, looks like today both the chat and the stream and the rally are going to be on fire, which is, it's awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much. Let's go to the next question. American elections on both sides are rigged. Press 1 if you agree. Press 2 if you disagree.
First of all, thank you to all the people who waited in line to get in, to show your love for this country, your excitement about this campaign, and your determination to take back America for the citizens of this country. So thank you to all of you. Very rarely in history do people get the opportunity to vote for true, real, profound change. I would venture to say this is an opportunity that's not even just once in a lifetime opportunity. This is the kind of opportunity that only comes once in many hundreds of years. And it's important, it's crucially important that every morning we wake up, we're cognizant of just how historic and how rare this opportunity is. Because folks, it's not going to come again. I mean, we have been betrayed and let down by politicians year after year after year after year after year. And you hear the same promises, oh, well, we're going to secure the border. Does the border ever get secured, folks? No. They say, oh, well, we're going to bring back our manufacturing jobs, but do those jobs ever come back? They say they're going to clean up D.C. and kick out the special interests. Do the special interests ever go? After 8 years of Obama, the special interests are more powerful than ever. The gap between the rich and poor is wider than ever. The control of Wall Street is greater than ever. And the ability of everyday people to control their own affairs is less than it has ever been. When we talk about the American dream dying, when we talk about the American dream disappearing, what we're talking about is the fact that people in this own country are stuck. They can't find a job, they can't find a raise, they can't afford health care, they can't have a safe community, they can't be secure from terrorism. The infrastructure is crumbling, the airports don't work. Our political system sells favors to the highest bidder. And no one in this country, folks, has done more to sell out our government to the highest bidder than Hillary Rodham Clinton. And when you think about it, folks, one of the great ironies of this race is that in the year of Bernie Sanders in the Democratic primary, because of the superdelegates, they went ahead and nominated the face of special interest corruption in America. Nobody has taken more money from special interests in return for more favors than Hillary Clinton. The examples go on forever. And one of the things that Mr. Trump has talked about, and you probably heard about, is Hillary Clinton has taken millions and millions and millions of dollars, and her husband, from some of the most oppressive, violent, brutal regimes on the face of the earth. And if we as a country want to stand up for our values, if we want to support the rights of women, the rights of minorities, the rights of gay and lesbian Americans, then we have to say no to Hillary Clinton and the foreign governments funding her. She takes money from Saudi Arabia, she takes money from Qatar, she takes money from the United Arab Emirates, she takes money from Brunei, she takes money from countries where women are enslaved and gay and lesbians are put to death, where it is a capital punishment to be gay in the countries where she takes her money from. Folks, that is disgraceful. And it's time Hillary Clinton apologized to the millions upon millions of people suffering in those regimes that she is lifting up by giving them the blessing of taking their money. When a major official in our government takes millions of dollars and also in some cases personal gifts from oppressive regimes, they are sanctioning indirectly, but they're sanctioning just the same, the atrocious behavior of those regimes. And it's time Hillary Clinton was condemned for doing so. I think all of us are tired of taking morality lectures from somebody who accepts money from the most corrupt regimes in some cases, and the most violent regimes in some cases, and the most oppressive regimes in some cases on the face of the earth. I don't want to be lectured by somebody who's happily willing to sell favors from the U.S. government in exchange for cash. And I'm willing to venture that the people of the United States of America, when they learn about the extent of this corrupt dealing, when they learn about how much money Hillary Clinton has taken from regimes with blood in their hands, when they learn about that, they will say the United States of America will never put someone that corrupt into the White House. The leader of the free world, the symbol of democracy and human rights across the world, is the United States. And the United States will not choose as its leader somebody who sanctions brutality against women, brutality against gays, brutality against Jews and Christians and everybody else. We are going to elect somebody who stands for and fights for the rights of all people, and that man is Donald J. Trump. And folks, another issue we get lectured on all the time. Oh man, do we get lectured on this? You can't turn on the TV or pick up your newspaper without getting a sanctimonious lecture on this issue, and that's the issue of immigration security. And Hillary Clinton says, well, we can't have a secure border and we can't enforce our laws, because if we did that, it would tear apart families, Hillary Clinton says. The families being torn apart are the American families who are losing loved ones to an open border. And nobody can run for president of the United States who is not willing to protect American families. That is a pretty fundamental qualification. If you can't stand up and say, I will protect the safety and security of American families, then you are running for the wrong job. And I submit to you, folks, the American people will never elect someone like Hillary Clinton, who has pledged to dissolve the borders around these United States. No country will ever elect a president who will dissolve its own borders, and that's what Hillary Clinton has promised to do. Hillary Clinton has also promised a 550% increase in Syrian refugees. Now, once again, Hillary Clinton tells us, well, this is the compassionate thing to do. You know what compassionate behavior would be? Would be using the money to help 10 times as many refugees in their home region. What Hillary Clinton doesn't tell you is that for every dollar you spend bringing a refugee out of Syria into the United States and providing housing, providing medical services, providing jobs, providing welfare, feeding, housing, clothing refugees, for every one you bring into the United States, you could help 11 in their home region. Hillary Clinton is denying support. She is denying support to hundreds of thousands of refugees for the sake of her selfish and corrupt political agenda. And there's another group of people, folks, that are getting left out of this conversation. They're called American citizens. Our inner cities are falling apart. Our rural communities are falling behind. Our children are underemployed. Every penny that is being spent on the resettlement operation is a penny taken out of the pocket of hardworking Americans and their children. We are $19 trillion in debt. We do not have the money for Hillary Clinton's plan to resettle huge portions of the Middle East inside the United States of America. We need to support our American family first. That includes millions upon millions of Americans living in poverty today. The social contract that makes this country or any country work is that the people like you, the backbone, the heart, the soul, the essence of this country, who go to work every day, who love their children and take care of their families, who follow the rules, the people who make this country move, the people who go. Our social contract is that you follow the rules, you do your civic duty, and in return, your government puts you first. When a country loses that social contract, it ceases to be a country anymore. This is the conversation we need to be having in America, folks. I, for one, our social contract is that you follow the rules, you do your civic duty, and in return, your government puts you first. When a country loses that social contract, it ceases to be a country anymore. This is the conversation we need to be having in America, folks. I, for one, and I know I speak for all of you when I say this, am not interested in turning America into nothing more than Hillary Clinton's personal bank account. I'm not interested in having the United States become Hillary Clinton's personal wealth management fund. I'm interested, and you're interested, and we're all interested in having a country that is about enriching you, that is about protecting you, that is about taking care of you and the people that you love. That's what a country's all about. Each of us as American citizens taking care of each other and loving each other and supporting each other and standing up for our principles and our values. And that includes not bringing people into our country, as Mr. Trump has said, who don't share our values. How does it help America or lift up America or support America to bring anyone into this country, wherever they may come from, who rejects our values, who rejects our tolerant way of living, and who in fact has hatred in their heart for our people? How is that good for America? How is that good for our people? It's not. Hillary Clinton is a career criminal, folks. All you have to do is read the book Clinton Cash. Man, it'll turn your hair white. Let me tell you something. One corrupt deal after another, including, by the way, selling 20% of U.S. uranium assets to Russia, while Russia is funneling tens upon tens of millions of dollars to the Bill and Hillary Foundation. Sweet deals for countries like Saudi Arabia and China, while they're giving money to, you guessed it, Bill and Hillary Clinton. Give money to Bill, get favors from Hill. The corruption of Hillary Clinton would make many crime syndicates very envious. The sophistication, the scale, the scope, the dollars involved, we are talking tens upon tens upon tens of millions of dollars. The amount of money that Bill and Hillary have made while pushing deals and pushing policies that have cut out millions of Americans from the workforce, that have driven down wages and jeopardized our national security, is shocking, appalling, and abhorrent. If this election is a referendum on morality, Hillary Clinton loses, and she loses badly. If this election is a referendum on decency, Hillary Clinton loses and loses badly. If this election is an election about corruption and integrity, Hillary Clinton will lose, and she will lose by historic margins. And I challenge the media to ask Bill and Hillary Clinton about the money they've taken from Brunei, to ask Bill and Hillary about the money they've taken from Russia, to ask Bill and Hillary about their operations in Haiti, to ask Bill and Hillary about the money they've taken from China, the money they've taken from Qatar, the money they've taken from all across the world, to ask Bill and Hillary about the many times State Department business was being conducted while Bill was taking money from the very people under State Department review. These are the things that the media needs to be looking into, and needs to be looking into them now. Now, there's also some other issues in this election. I'll run through them quickly. There's the issue of jobs, folks. Hillary Clinton supported NAFTA, she supported TPP, she supported the Korea deal. As Bernie Sanders says, Hillary Clinton has supported every trade deal that's destroyed our jobs. Do we want to vote for someone who's going to send all of our jobs overseas? Or do we want to vote for a man who's going to put jobs and wages for American workers first? Do we want to vote for a man who's going to put American families first? Do we want to vote for a man who can't be bought and sold, who can't be corrupted by special interests, and who will fight for you and you alone? I think it's time that you had a champion in your corner. I think it's time you turned on the TV and saw somebody fighting as hard for you as the other side fights for the special interests. I think it's time you had somebody in your corner protecting your interests and protecting your values. I think it's time you had somebody who is prepared to kick every last corrupt special interest out of Washington, D.C. And let's just run through a couple more things. Donald J. Trump is going to create millions of energy jobs. Hillary Clinton is going to shut down energy all across this country. Donald J. Trump is going to pass tax reform to create millions of private sector good-paying jobs. Hillary Clinton is going to raise our taxes and send even more jobs overseas. Donald Trump's going to get rid of regulations, destroying our economy. Hillary Clinton is going to regulate companies out of existence, except for the companies lining her pockets. On every issue that matters to working people, trade, immigration, energy, taxes, regulation. Hillary Clinton is against the working people of this country. Are you prepared to cast a vote on behalf of working people and stand with Donald Trump? Are you prepared to cast a vote on behalf of secure borders and vote for Donald Trump? Are you prepared to send a message that will echo down through the annals of history that at this moment in America, we took back our country for the working people? And are you prepared to renew the social contract that says your value is not measured by how much money you make or how many dollars you contribute, but your value is measured by your worth as an American citizen? Folks, this opportunity, as I said at the beginning of my remarks, isn't going to come again. It is rare, it is special, it is unique. And it's incumbent upon all of us to find that last extra measure of devotion and dedication and courage on behalf of our children and their children after, to say at this crossroads, at this moment of corruption, at this time of special interest control, with thousands of people suffering every day because of our open border, millions of people suffering every day because of uncontrolled immigration, tens of millions of people losing their jobs and futures. At this moment, at this precipice, at this fork in the road, each and every one of you gave that last extra inch of dedication to return this country to the people sitting in this room today and all across this nation who are the true leaders of America. It's not the politicians, folks. You are not ruled by anybody. You're not controlled by anybody. Let this be remembered as the year that we return control of the American people to its rightful rulers. We return control of this nation to its rightful rulers, the American citizens. And so, you'll be hearing from Donald Trump in a moment. And so the question I have for all of you, and I want you to shout so loud that everyone who betrayed you, everyone who let you down, everybody who betrayed families like the Kate Steinle family, everybody who betrayed families like the Carrier families in Indianapolis, everybody who ignored your cries and pleas for help, I want you to shout so loud that it quivers the conference tables in Washington, D.C. Are you prepared, folks, to elect as president a man who will put America first, last, and always? Are you prepared to elect Donald J. Trump as president of these United States? Are you prepared to take back your country? Are you prepared for real change on behalf of America? God bless all of you. God bless this state. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
How's it going, everyone? If you just joined us, welcome. We would like to thank you for choosing us as the stream of choice. Press 1 if you would like to play the polling game for a little bit while we wait for Trump to come out. It shouldn't take long. He's already in Vegas, so he should be coming up any second. Press 1 if you want to play the polling game. All right, awesome. For the people that are new to the stream and don't know what the polling game is, it basically, I say either a question or a statement, and if you agree with it, you press 1. If you disagree with it, you press 2. Here's the first question. People tend to forget why the Bill of Rights was created. If you agree with that, press 1. If you disagree, press 2. All right, let's go to the next question. Let's go to the next question here, and it says, the federal government has too much power. If you believe that the federal government has too much power, press 1 if you agree, press 2 if you disagree. All right, here's a statement. If you agree with it, press 1. If you disagree with it, press 2. Not many people out there has probably fired this weapon, but the statement says, the M14 is an amazing rifle. If you had the chance to fire that weapon and you think it's amazing, press 1. If you haven't had the chance to fire that weapon, press 2. I'm actually curious on the stream. On the stream, type the gun that you have. If you own any weapons, put them down. I am a proud owner of an AR, a proud owner of 45. So let me know what type of weapons you guys have. Thank you very much. Alright, so now that we know the types of guns that we have, which here we are very pro Second Amendment, in the comment section, let me know what gun you would love to have. If you had the chance to buy a gun right now, what gun would it be?
The greatest casino here. Thank you for hosting this. What a great place you have here today. Boy, we love Donald, don't we? Wow. You I'll be here soon. And your lovely wife who's here with us this morning. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to give him one more loud round of applause, and if it's loud enough, he'll come out. So let's be really, really loud.
And if you ever need a room, I have a very nice building right down the street. You know, hey, and I have to thank Mr. and Mrs. Phil Ruffin. The room is great. We've got people in every room he's got over here. His restaurants now are full. This is what took so long. And the worst thing we can do, folks, because we're all together, right? This is a movement. The worst thing we can do is start a rally, because if there's one empty seat, the press will say, oh, the room didn't fill up. Trump isn't doing. Outside, you have thousands of people trying to get in. And I hate to say it because I like them and they work very hard. TSA lets them in. And it's not working out so good. I'm not happy about it, but I have to put up with it. But they have, you know, the machines. And they didn't bring enough machines. And I don't know if the great Wayne Newton has that problem when he performs. But I love Wayne. I'll talk about Wayne in a second. But we have to be very careful of that. Because let's say I came out 10 or 15 minutes ago. Even though there are thousands of people outside, all of the conference rooms have people. They have closed-circuit television. The whole hotel is packed. Phil, you've never had anything like this. And he owns it. So if I had like 3 empty seats, they'd say, oh, this is terrible. And they are still piling into this room. But I think it's time we begin. Do we agree? Do we agree? Okay? So we have amazing people here. Amazing friends are here. And it's been going really well. You know, I read about there's an insurgent group. You know, the same group that I beat is insurgent. There are a couple of guys there trying to go to Cleveland. They're trying to get delegates. I thought they already tried that. I mean, I could give you names, but I won't because it's meaningless. First of all, it's illegal. Second of all, you can't do it. Third of all, we, not me, we got almost 14 million votes. 14 million votes in the primary system. So that's more votes than ever received in the primaries in the history of the Republican Party. Okay? Thank you. We beat a lot of people, 16 people. There were a total of 17, including myself. One after another. Boom, boom, boom. It was a beautiful thing to behold, okay? A beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing. Yeah, that's great. Just keep filling them in. That's right. Isn't it better that we're starting now? We have to. They're not happy outside, but what the heck are we going to do? So, it was a beautiful thing to behold. But think of this. So we got almost 14 million votes. We won 36, 37 states, which is, others won none. People that won none are saying, maybe we can get something at the convention. Doesn't work that way, folks. You would have, because we have, you know, one of the things the polls say, we have by far the most loyal conference room. Every restaurant is loaded with people. I hope you put closed circuit in, Phil. They're going to be so angry, but I think you do. Well, I mean, take a look at this today. This guy doesn't never had anything like this, where every room is full, every conference room, every restaurant is loaded with people. When we love this guy doesn't hold back, believe me. But so when we get 37 thank you, officers. When we get 37 states, thank you. We love our police. Thank you. That's very nice. Thank you. By the way, how great are our police, okay? They don't get enough credit. They don't get enough credit. They don't. They take abuse. They don't get the credit they deserve, believe me. So, we won 37 states. We won 14 million. We beat Ronald Reagan, who we love. We beat Richard Nixon. We beat Dwight D. Eisenhower. We beat everybody. We beat Bush. We beat the Bushes. We beat the Bushes. And by a lot. I don't mean we like edged it. I don't mean like, you know, I mean by a lot. And now you have a couple of guys that were badly defeated, and they're trying to organize maybe like a little bit of a delegate revolt. Maybe. Now, number one, you know, Reince Priebus, you know what that is, right? RNC. No, he's a good guy. And the Republican National Committee, they put out a statement, you can't do it. It's not legal. You can't do it. You're not allowed to do it. How would you like to have a party where we started off with 17 or 18 people, actually, including somebody that I won't mention because I'm not looking to embarrass anybody, but it was actually 18 if you want to include somebody, okay? But how would you like to have a party, Wayne? And he's married to a great lawyer, so she understands this better than Wayne does. But Wayne has a much better voice, right? But how would you like to have a party where myself and others traveled the country and worked for a long time? Now, it was shorter than I thought, because remember, I was supposed to maybe be able to pull it out at the convention, and we pulled it out 2 months before the convention. Do you remember? Do you remember when they said 1237? That's the delegates. 1230. He cannot reach that number. He cannot reach that number. And I kept saying, what's the big deal? And one of the people, who probably hasn't quite given up yet, one of the people was trying to buy up all of the second ballot people, right? And I kept saying, let them have them, because it's expensive to get them. And by the way, I spent less money than any other candidate, and I ended up in first place, and they ended up, boom. So now I hear, after beating them fair and square, I mean, I beat them fair and square. Actually, a couple of the commentators that are negative people, actually, because most of them are, but a couple of the commentators that are negative people said, whether you like him or you don't, he beat them fair and square. And then they said, he didn't beat them by a little bit, he beat them by a lot. We beat them by a lot. Right? So, how would you like to have a party where somebody goes out and beats them by a lot and wins not only the vote, largest in the history of the party, not only wins 37 states and nobody else was even, you know, like remotely close. I mean, some of these guys have none. How would you like to have that? A guy sets an all-time record, gets almost 14 million votes over a period of like 9 months. He gets 37 states. He gets tremendous support. He has sold-out arenas no matter where he goes. Yesterday in Houston, people said they have never seen crowds like that. One of the reporters, a very good reporter actually from NBC, Haley, she just said, but are your crowds as big as they used to be? I said, they're bigger. They're bigger. They're actually bigger. No, they're bigger. You had to see Houston, Texas last night. We were in a big arena, it held about 5,000 people. That's not a big one for us, but that was the biggest one we could get on short notice. And on short notice, we had a line that went 5 abreast forever. And it's the biggest subject in all of Texas. They had helicopters over. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. They've never seen anything like it. And our crowds are bigger. Our enthusiasm is more. A poll came out, OAN, a very good poll. It's a very good group of people. A poll, OAN, came out where I'm statistically even with crooked Hillary. And she is crooked, folks. Believe me, she is crooked. Hillary Clinton doesn't have, I'll tell you what, Hillary Clinton, and you can say it any way you want, but she doesn't have the integrity. She doesn't have the integrity to be president. And perhaps equally important, she's got very, very bad judgment. You just look at what she's done. You just look, okay. So how would you like to be in a party where Trump wins, where Trump keeps winning, where Trump has the biggest crowds, where Trump gets, by the way, the highest ratings in the history of television? They had a story in Variety. I don't like to brag, but we have to brag every once in a while, right? They had a story in Variety where a big headline, a big, massive headline. And the story was that Trump makes massive profits for cable networks, and networks, but massive. And then it went on to say that they're setting records in viewership, they're setting records in advertising, they're making a fortune. What are we getting out of it? We get nothing but maybe we're going to get the presidency and we're going to straighten out our country, okay? We're going to straighten out our country. And we'll have Wayne at that inaugural ball. Wayne will be with me, Wayne. Ba, ba, ba. So there's a little movement, and I just heard today where it's coming from. It's coming from people that have been badly defeated. But wouldn't that be funny? Okay. A guy got much less votes. He got no states. Ladies and gentlemen, our nominee is... I don't think so. I mean, forget about the legality, because it's not legal. Forget about the fact that the Republican National Committee put out a statement last night saying it's all made up by the press, folks, believe me, by these people right here. It's all made up by the press. Okay? It's all made up. It's a hoax, I'm telling you. These are the most dishonest people. Not all of them, not all of them. But this is a story. I watched CNN yesterday, knowing it can't happen. Breaking news. There will be this and that at the convention. Who are they going to pick? I beat everybody. But I don't mean beat. I beat the hell out of them. Right? Beat the hell out of them. And we're going to beat Hillary. And it would be helpful if the Republicans could help us a little bit, you know, okay? Just a little bit. I mean, I have people that I've done so much for, that frankly we've done a great job for, all of us. You know, the Republican Party has increased the voter turnout. Forget about me. I set the all-time record. Guess what? The Republican Party in the primaries is up 70%, right? I think it's even more. 70% from 4 years ago. 70% more people have voted in the primaries. Is it because of me? Stand up, say it. A woman. I'm doing well with women. Go ahead. Thank you. Believe me, I respect women more than Hillary respects women. I can tell you that. Thank you. They're screaming, it's because of you, Mr. Trump. It's because of you. And you know what? I never brag. They happen to be 100% right. All right. You take a look at these states. A couple of the states were up 102% from last year. Okay, from 4 years ago. 102%, it's unheard of. In the whole world, people talk about it. I mean, some people would have said the Republican Party has stayed. It's not bad, it's stayed. It's got a little boring, maybe. And maybe the ideas weren't right, because I don't believe in let it be boring if the ideas are right. But the ideas weren't right. There wasn't strength on the border. Our budgets are way out of whack. Look at this last budget that we approved, the omnibus budget. You know, Obama is a horrible negotiator. Iran beats him. Every country beats him. He draws the line in the sand. They beat him. Everybody beats him. But he's a great negotiator when he has to negotiate against the Republicans. And we got to stop. We got to stop. We got to stop. They have to focus on budgets, not focus on me. And they view me as an outsider. I have to tell you a little secret. I shouldn't say it. Half of you will leave the room. Should I say it? I used to be the ultimate establishment person. I was a massive giver. I gave a lot of money to everybody. I even gave to Democrats. I mean, I'm in business, right? I gave to Democrats, I gave to Republicans, but I gave a lot of money. The RGA, Republican Governors Association, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I was like establishment. And then one day I said, I'm going to run. And I announced. And they said, what happened? That's no good. Because I'm not one of them. Because I'm going to do the right thing. I don't need this, folks. I don't need this. I don't need this. Phil Ruffin told me this morning, came over, we met, and he's done such an amazing job with this hotel. And his wife is actually much more amazing than him. Alexandra, stand up, please. Stand up. She's more amazing than Phil. Mr. and Mrs. Phil Ruffin. And he told me this morning, he said, and he was talking to a group of people, and we're raising money for the Republican Party. And frankly, I like doing it. I went around yesterday, I think between yesterday and today, we raised $12 or $13 million for the Republican Party. It's good. For the Republican Party. And somebody said, well, you're not raising money for... I said, I don't know. I get people, I'm raising money for the Republican Party, and I'm not getting the kind of support. What they don't tell you, though, is I actually have a lot of support. But they don't talk to the people that support. Wayne Issa, who's a great guy, congressman. So many of the Republicans are so supportive, they don't want to talk about them. If somebody says something just a little bit off, headline, blaring news, breaking news. They use the breaking news every time there's an event, it's breaking news. Then when you have a real breaking news event, nobody takes it seriously. Do you ever know? Breaking news! Donald Trump got up today and tweeted, good morning. It's crazy. It's crazy. But they don't talk about that. But I will say, Phil said to me this morning, and he said to a group, he said, Donald Trump didn't need to do this. He's made a fortune. He's done a great job, has a great family, an unbelievable, Phil, do I have an unbelievable business? Stand up, please. This guy knows better than I. Stand up. Stand up. Did I do a good job? Built an unbelievable business. And I built an unbelievable business, a great, great business, some of the greatest assets in the world, no matter where. Who's that guy? Is he a friend or foe? Get him out of here, please. Get him out. Get him out. Yeah, get him out. Could you let somebody else take his place, please? Different, right? Thank you very much. These are like love fests. A friend of mine came over to me, and he said, very rich guy, very successful guy. Not a great guy, but who cares about that? We need these people to help us negotiate with China and with other countries. Right? But he's a guy that is very successful. And he was at an arena where I had 21,000 people, and I was speaking. And he said, and he's got a lot of guts, financial guts I call it, different kind of guts. Like, I have financial guts. When I see what our great military people do, I don't know that I'd have those kind of guts, right? Right? These people are fantastic, and we've got to take care of our military, take care of our vets. We have to replenish our military, and we have to knock the hell out of ISIS. Have to knock the hell out of ISIS. But he came up to me, and he was with me at this arena, and he saw, it was in Dallas, and 21,000 people, the Mavericks arena, packed, including the whole floor. And he said, could I ask you a question? How long have you prepared for this speech? How the hell do you get out there in front of that many people? I said, that's nothing, because all the networks are covering it live, just like they are right now. He said, how do you do it? Thank you, darling. You're right. She gets it. You're right. And I said, honestly, and he said, how do you do this? He said, she understands. But he said, how do you do this? How do you speak in front of that many people? He said he could never do it. I said, it's not hard, because I'm telling you, there is such love in this room. There is such love in these rooms. I really mean it. I really, really mean it. There is such love in these arenas. We had, in Mobile, Alabama, we had 35,000 people. We started in a hotel ballroom. After about an hour, the hotel call said, we can't handle it. We then moved to the convention center. That holds 10,000 people. They told us after 2 hours they can't handle it. We moved to a football stadium in Mobile. We had the most unbelievable time. We had 35,000 people. In Oklahoma, we have these massive crowds. We have massive crowds everywhere. And it's so easy to do what I'm doing because it's love. It really is love. I'm doing it for love. I'm doing it for this country. We are so off track. We are so off track. So, and I'll tell you something. The safest place, thank you, darling. The safest place to be in this country is at a Trump rally. Remember that. Remember that. It's the safest place to be. Oh, good. All the seats have now filled out. And they just said there's 3,000 people outside. All the seats are now filled out. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. The press, I'm telling you, we had to do that. That's why I waited. Is it okay that I waited? Yes. Okay. Now they're all filled out. Filled out all over this building. I don't know. This guy Ruffin must be making a fortune this morning. I don't know. So, the safest place to be, seriously. And our whole theme is Make America Great Again. But I've revised it. It's Make America Great Again. It's Make America Safe Again. Safe again. It's Make America Safe Again. And it's also, we want to do it for everybody, not just us. We want to do it for everybody. We want to help African Americans you look at African American, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, man. African American youth has a 59% rate of unemployment. Okay, folks? 59. And we're letting people pour into our country. We have no idea who the hell they are, where they come from. There's no documentation. There's no paper. They come from hostile countries. They come from countries that are tremendous in terms of terrorism. And we're going to have big problems. If you think Orlando was the end of it with this weak attitude and this pathetic president that we have, it wasn't, folks. It wasn't. It wasn't. This is just the beginning. Unless we get smart and tough and vigilant, and unless we say, I'm sorry, you're coming from a region in the world, whether it's, and I can name them all, boy, I can name them all, but it's radical Islamic terrorism. It's a whole new thing. It's radical Islamic terrorism. And it's not guns. You know, I saw the president talk immediately about guns. It's not guns. It's terrorism. It's terrorism. It's not guns. It's terrorism. And I watched him the other day, and he was, and by the way, this wasn't just me saying it. He was more angry at Donald Trump than he was at the shooter, the maniac who killed all of those young people. He was more angry at Donald Trump and I wasn't the only one to say it, plenty of people saw it, then he wasn't the shooter. So we got to change our mindset here, folks. We have to be really tough, really smart, really strong. You know, in the past, we'd have a war, and we'd be fighting Japan, and they had uniforms. We knew who we were fighting. And we'd be fighting Germany, and we'd be fighting others, and we knew who our opponent was. We knew who the enemy was. Today, you don't know who the hell it is. And you are going to have problems, the likes of which you've never seen, unless Donald Trump becomes your president. Believe me. Believe me. Thank you. Thank you. Now, we're going to bring jobs into our country, and that's going to solve a lot of problems. It's amazing how jobs can solve a lot of problems. Problems that we think we have. All of a sudden, somebody gets a good job, and you don't have the problems. But we're having our jobs ripped off and being sent to other countries, ripped off by currency manipulation, where they're lowering the value of their currency and they're making it impossible for our companies to compete. We're being ripped off at every level, and we have leaders that are so stupid they have no idea what's happening. I mean, look at the newspapers today. Apple, good old Apple. I was waiting for this to happen. They've been having their stuff made in China, and now China has turned against them. Now, here's the bad news. By my saying that, China's very smart. They're going to say, oh boy, Trump's picked up this one. We'll let Apple. I am doing such a service to Apple by even mentioning it, because our word is being broadcast all over the world, and Tim Cook should send us a lot of money for what I'm doing. But China is now ripping off Apple, saying you don't have the right to sell a certain product in China because somebody else has the right. And they're ripping them off big league. And right now, Apple doesn't know what to do. But it always happens. But you watch. Because of this will be a headline. Now China, they're smart. I deal with them. They're very smart. You can do great with them. I made a lot of money with China. The biggest bank in the world is my tenant. I sell condos like crazy to people from China. The Bank of America building in San Francisco, indirectly through China. I mean, so much stuff. I did great with China. And I have great respect for China. I'm not knocking China. And I'm not knocking Mexico. And I'm not knocking Japan. I'm not knocking anybody. I think it's great what they do for themselves. But I am knocking our leadership as being grossly incompetent. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. And every time, and in all fairness, China is just one of many, but China is the biggest, and it's the biggest abuser. China's an abuser. They abuse our country. Every time they start doing badly, do you notice? They knock out their currency a little bit lower, a little bit lower. They're not supposed to be doing that. That's sort of like cheating. You know, it's a way of cheating. Now, we do it very little because we don't know how to play. They're like grandmasters. They're like grandmasters, and we're like checker players that don't know how to play. That's the difference. But it won't be that way. Carl Icahn, guys like Ruffin, guys like so many of my people that have backed me, so many of the people that Phil knows. These are the best business people in the world. These are the best negotiators in the world. These are the best negotiators in the world. And you know what? You know what? It's very interesting. We're going to put it up. I'm the best. Oh, I'm good. Good. But we have the best. We have the greatest business people. We have the greatest negotiators in the world. You know, we have the greatest. Andy Beal, who's a big supporter. Andy Beal, Beal Bank in Texas. We have such unbelievable people that are supporting me. And they support me not because they like me, although I guess that's a part of it, but they're supporting me because they hear me. You ever hear corporate inversion? We have companies that are leaving this country. Taxes are too high. And they have trillions of dollars outside of our country. They can't get it back. We can't get it back because we have no leader. You know, we have trillions of dollars right now outside of our country. I think it's $5 trillion. They say it's $2.5 trillion. I think it's much more. We can't bring it back. The Democrats want to bring it back. The Republicans want to bring it back. Everybody, who the hell doesn't want to bring it back? It's money that we aren't allowing to come back in. Because the bureaucracy, it's actually not just taxes. The taxes are crazy. Only a maniac would bring it back and pay those. It's crazy, too high. We pay the highest taxes in the world. By the way, I have the biggest tax decrease of any candidate that's run for office, and that's close to 20 people. And Hillary Clinton has the biggest tax increase, and she doesn't even want to talk about it. In my opinion, her taxes have to be close to 60% to pay for what she's talking about. And she got forced into a corner by crazy Bernie. One thing about Bernie, he doesn't give up. This guy doesn't give up. Right? Crazy Bernie, he doesn't give up. You know. Crazy Bernie, he's crazy as a bedbug, but you know, he doesn't quit. He doesn't quit. You gotta hand it to him. And I think Bernie should continue to go forward, folks. He should continue to go forward. He should fight to the last end. Well, he's waiting for really the FBI to do what everybody thinks they're going to do. I mean, I think that's... I think he's sort of saying, look, let's hang in there, because ultimately it's called the FBI convention. And then we'll be the only people, and we will have done something like Trump did. I want to be like Trump. I want to be like Trump. But I think he's waiting for the FBI convention. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if the right thing happens. Everybody knows what the right thing is. I've watched and read and seen and talked to great legal scholars. Not one has said that she should be allowed to run for office. Every person that we know of that's done far less than what she's done, their lives have been destroyed. And the press doesn't cover it because the press is so one-sided. CNN, as an example, it's called the Clinton News Network. Clinton News Network. No, it's a joke. It's a joke. The Clinton News Network. So we'll see what happens. But Bernie is in there, and Bernie's fighting, and I don't think he should give up. Does anybody think so? I don't think so. If he gives up, we'll say, Bernie, you're a loser. You gave up. We can't do it. No, but we'll see. I mean, he's got to have something in mind, and I personally think that's maybe what he has in mind. So we're going to do things for our country that are going to be amazing. And they've resonated. Look, 1 year from Thursday, I ran. And everybody said June 16th. 1 year. So it's 1 year and 2 days now. 1 year. 1 year. And a lot of people said, I watched Karl Rove. He said, oh, he's not going to run. Oh, go ahead. I watched Krauthammer. No, he won't run. Krauthammer said he won't run. He won't run because this is the single greatest group of talent, perhaps in the history of the Republican Party. In fact, a month before, I said to my wife, wow, I just don't forget, Krauthammer wanted us to go into Iraq and bomb the hell. We've done a great job by doing that, and I was against doing that, folks. I was against it. These guys all wanted to bomb the hell out of Iraq. We've done a great job in doing that. We've totally destabilized the Middle East. What a mess we have, okay? What a total mess we have. And by the way, who takes over Iraq? Iran. Not only do they make the Iran deal, I used to say that's the greatest deal I've seen. They got $150 billion back. They have the right to go wild with nuclear weapons eventually. They don't need to make them. They can buy them. But you know what? They make great. Now, I used to say that's one of the greatest deals I've ever seen. I don't say that anymore. Greatest deal is that for years and years and years, decades and decades, they fought each other. And one went 10 feet this way, 10 feet that way, 10 feet, 3-4 years, then they rested. Then they go again. Saddam Hussein drops a little gas. Iran complains, you're not supposed to do that. The world goes crazy. And then they rest. Then again. Okay, this has gone on forever. Then we come in and obliterate one of the two. Obliterate it. And now what have we done? We have given Iran Iraq. Okay? As sure as you're sitting there, I've been saying this for a long time. But Iran is essentially controlling Iraq. Iran is now very shortly, going to just walk in. They don't have to fire a shot. And the people running Iraq are so in the pocket of Iran. And why wouldn't they be? Because they figure we're gone. We're gone. So Iran is going to take over Iraq. A lot of people don't know that Iraq has some of the largest oil reserves in the entire world. A lot of people don't know that. So look what's happening. Look what's happening to Iran. Look what we've done by sheer stupidity. So a lot of these people, they said, bomb, bomb, bomb. And I said, what did I know? I was in business, right? I didn't know. A lot of people weren't asking me. But I said, if you do that, you're going to destabilize the Middle East. And hence you have the migration. And hence you have people going all over the world. Look at the problems in Germany. Look at the crime. I have friends in Germany that for years that say, the greatest country, the greatest country. They love Germany. Now they're saying, we're leaving. They're leaving Germany. Look what they've done to different... Look at Brussels. How beautiful a place was Brussels. And look at what's going on. Look at Paris. Look what's happening in Paris. And it's far worse than you people understand. It's far worse than people understand. In fact, today there was actually a story that Paris is so out of control, so dangerous. Look at what's going on. And we have Hillary Clinton wanting to take in over 500% more than Obama. No, think of it. Than Obama, of people that will cause us problems like you will not believe. Not all of them. But look what one man did. One whack job. He's a wacko. Look what one whack job did. One radical Islamic terrorist. And he pledged himself to ISIS. Here's a guy, he's shooting people and pledging himself to ISIS as he's shooting. Okay? He's calling people and talking about ISIS. ISIS. Look what one man has done to this country. Look at what one man has done to the state, to the great, great, great state of Florida that I love. And Orlando. Amazing place. This is one man. We're letting in millions of people. It doesn't take large amounts. This could be the great Trojan horse. We all know the story of the Trojan horse. But this could be the great story of the Trojan horse. All because we have leadership and weak people like Hillary. She's weak. She's weak. Bernie Sanders said about Hillary Clinton that she can't be president because she has bad judgment. Okay, he said it. I didn't say it. I would never say a thing like that. And then I hear her saying, reading right off, always teleprompters. She goes, Donald Trump does not have the temperament to be president. And then the people back, oh, she gave a great speech. Oh, give me a break. Gave her a great speech. You think she's the president? Take a look at her. You think she's the president? I don't think so. I don't think. Donald Trump doesn't have the temperament. And I'll tell you something. I started thinking about it. And I was going to say, I absolutely have a great temperament. And I've done great things. Hey, look, I went into television, had The Apprentice. Great hit. One of the most successful reality shows, right? I did books. Many bestsellers, many. The Art of the Deal is one of the biggest selling, certainly the biggest selling business book of all time, by far. So I did books, tremendous success. Real estate, I have some of the greatest assets in the world. You look at my numbers, very low debt, tremendous everything, okay? I filed over 100 and some odd pages. But listen to this. Okay, so listen. So we have a great study in contrasts. So I started thinking about temperament, and I was going to say, I do have a good temperament, I do. And then I said to myself, well, wait a minute. She's probably right about one thing. I have a very tough temperament. She said, but very controlled. But we need tough temperament today. We can't have this weakness. We can't have weakness. My temperament's tough. My temperament is very solid. I don't lose control. I've been doing this for a long time, folks. You've been watching me for a long time. Do you know in New York I won in a massive landslide? Who knows me better than the people of New York? Nobody knows me better. Nobody. I won in a massive landslide and we had 3 people. Now New York knows me better. I've been there for a long time. If I didn't have a good temperament, I couldn't have won New York. They know me. Do I get publicity? They write about me every day, every hour. It's always been this way. I don't know why. They had their debate. So Fox in the debate had 24 million people. It's actually even more than that, but 24 million people. The largest audience in the history of cable television. Now, I don't think it was for Jeb, but maybe I'm wrong, okay? By the way, Jeb is working on the movement, just so you understand. I love competition like that. I love it. So look. Low energy. I didn't say it, you did. Okay. No, Jeb is one of the people that's working. And the other one should be obvious to you, but we'll figure that out very easily. Okay, ready? So when you look and when you see what we have to do, we have to get out there. We have 24 million people they watch. We have 23. The next 2 weeks, CNN puts on a debate. 23 million people. The largest audience in the history of cable television for CNN. His CNN covers wars, covers everything, right? So you have the largest audience in the history of cable television. And then a few weeks later, oh yeah, they do say the debate with Hillary it's going to blow everything away. Oh, I look forward to that debate. Oh, do I look forward to that debate. I look so forward to that debate. But think of this. So CNN, a few weeks later, has another debate. And they get the largest audience they've ever had in the history of CNN. You know, it's pretty impressive, right? And Variety and the magazines say the Trump debate drew record ratings. Okay, just like they said the prophets. But here's the thing about the debate. So the debates go on, and a lot of people say, what was the biggest surprise? Well, I didn't know myself as a debater because I never debated. I create jobs, I do deals, I do business, I do this stuff, right? I don't debate. I guess my life is a debate, but I don't debate professionally. And I hear all these politicians, they're debaters. We debate. Hillary Clinton supposedly is a debater. Give me a break. Will she be allowed to bring the teleprompter onto the debate stage? So what happens is we start the debates, and I never did it before. And I'm saying, but think of that. I was in 11 debates, and of the 11 debates, I think it was 11, of the 11 debates, I was on center stage for every single debate, meaning you're number one. And of the 11 debates, Drudge, fantastic guy, Time Magazine, Slate, they do polls. I think I really help the polling business, right? I talk about polls. I like polls. But only if I'm winning. I don't like them otherwise. And we're starting to catch up very rapidly, so pretty soon. The polling companies are going to have their day in the sun pretty soon, I think. But here's the story. So of all of these debates, I think there's 7 of them they cover, they have online polls. Hundreds of thousands of people vote. And on every single debate, by every single poll, I won every debate, which is pretty good. You know, I don't know. I think it's pretty good. But we are going to do things that are going to be great. And a lot of people don't want me in because they don't want to see strong borders, okay? They don't want to see strong. I want to see strong borders. They don't want to see me job creating. They don't want to see what I'm going to do to help the minorities because we have problems in this country. I will do more for African Americans than Barack Obama has ever done. And believe me, he's done nothing. He's done nothing. He's done nothing but talk. He's done nothing but talk. And the Hispanics. So I employ thousands of Hispanics. Thank you. Where's Miriam? Where is Miriam? Where is she? Thank you. No, I employ thousands of Hispanics. Where's Miriam? She's shy. She doesn't want to. She has been so amazing. Where is... Thank you. Thank you. She goes around and says Donald Trump is going to do more for Mexicans and Hispanics, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, darling. So nice. No, she's been amazing, and she knows because I'm going to bring our jobs back, folks. We're bringing our jobs back. Look at Carrier. They fired everybody. They're moving to Mexico. So many companies moving to Mexico. I mean, I have a list that's a mile long. They're moving to Mexico, firing everybody. Then they make the product, not only in Mexico, they make the product. They sell it into the United States. No tax, no nothing. And you know what happens? We're going to lose a lot more companies, folks. We're going to lose a lot more companies. If I'm president, we're not going to lose anything. We're not going to lose any companies. We're not going to lose. And I say that strongly. Because you know what? These guys don't know. I've been watching this discussion because for 7 or 8 years, we have been it's been an onslaught. And longer than that, in all fairness to Obama, long before Obama. It was called NAFTA. It was signed by Bill Clinton. And it didn't affect Bill Clinton, but it affected everybody that followed Bill Clinton. And believe me, folks, it has been a disaster for this country. When I won New York State and Pennsylvania, when I won Maryland and Connecticut and Rhode Island, and when I won all of these states, and then won Indiana, thank you, Bobby Knight. Boy, did Bobby Knight help. Boy, did Bobby Knight. That was a coach night, 900 wins. But when I won all of these states, I really got to know, even New York State, I knew it well. I knew there were tremendous problems upstate New York, but I had no idea. When I toured those upstate areas of Albany and Rome, the real Rome, New York, okay, I call that the real Rome. But Syracuse, and you see building after building after building, empty, falling down, just a horrible sight all over. You could buy them, folks, you could buy them for $1. And you know what? I'll give you maybe some real estate advice. Go out and buy them, and if I win, you're going to make a hell of a lot of money. Okay? In fact, Phil Ruffin will get up and leave before the speech is over. He's headed to upstate New York right now. No, but it's true. It's true. Building after, by the thousands. And I have statisticians that work for me. And before I used to speak when we were in the primary, I'd say, give me the information on upstate New York. Give me the information on Long Island. Give me the information on all of these different places, Pennsylvania in particular. Look at West Virginia, what they've done to our coal miners. They've destroyed. Hillary Clinton said, I'll put the coal miners and the mines out of business. That was not a smart statement. And then she had to go there 4 hours later. And look at the numbers I've gotten in West Virginia and Pennsylvania. But I look, because we're going to bring the coal industry back, and we're going to bring every industry. We're going to bring our energy industry back. We're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it back. You know, because of technology, folks, because of technology, we have learned things, frankly, and we realize that we have wealth that we never knew we had. Over the last 6 or 7 years, there are many forms of technology that have given us an awareness that's unbelievable. What's happened is unbelievable. So we're going to bring all these things back, and we're going to start paying off our debt, and we're not going to let our companies... Now, here's what we're going to do. So Carrier says they're leaving. I would call them and say very nicely, and you know, my wife gives me a very hard time. She said, darling, you're president. You cannot call an air conditioning company. I said, that's okay. It's so much fun. It's like a 2-minute call. If I can save 1,400 jobs in 2 minutes, let me do it. But I'd call, meaning I'd call, somebody calls, I got to call. Maybe I should do it, right? And I say very simply, you just fired 1,400 people, you're moving to Mexico, enjoy it, enjoy it. I respect Mexico so much for taking all of our businesses, so much of our business. But let me just tell you, here's the story. Every air conditioning unit that you make, that you sell across our now very, very strong border, you will be paying a 35% tax on that unit, if you live. If you live. Now, our country has been working on this problem for years, and they did all sorts of deals like zero interest loans, and we'll give you money. They don't need money. They don't want money. How about the deals where they gave them really cheap money and they left anyway? You know, I mean, it's like, great. Try collecting. They don't need money. 100% they don't need. If I talk to them for 2 minutes, Phil, would you say 2 minutes or do I need 3? I think in 2. He says 1. Phil said 1 minute. But in a quick conversation, we're not going to move. And they're not going to be calling lobbyists because, you know, I spent $55 million on my own campaign of my money, okay, of my money. And by the way, if the Republican Party, and I hope they all come together because I want them to come together, it's great. But if for any reason they get a little bit like they don't want to help out as much, then I'll fund my own campaign. I'd love to do that. I'd love to do that. You know, right now I'm raising a lot of money for the Republican Party and a lot of beneficiaries to that, and I like doing it. But we have to have help. We have to have help. They have to be, it's got, you know, life is like a two-way street, right? It's a two-way street. So they have to, otherwise I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. I'll just keep funding my own campaign. I'm okay with that. That's the easy way. I mean, for me, that's the easy way. But hopefully I can continue to go the way we're going. This weekend we raised a lot of money. We've raised a lot of money for the Republican Party. We'll keep doing it because we do have tremendous support within the party. That I can tell you. We have tremendous support. Okay. So what's going to happen with Carrier, what's going to happen with any of, is they're going to say, we want to talk about this. Then they're going to go hire lobbyists. The lobbyists are going to call. I say, I'm not giving you guys anything. Now, if they call Hillary, 100%. They have a lobby. They have a lobbyist in Washington. He's got Hillary Clinton stamped on his forehead. Okay, it's 100%. With me, it doesn't work that way, okay? With me, it doesn't work that way. Within 24 hours, they will call and say, sir, we've decided to stay in the United States. We'll stay in Indiana. Or they'll go someplace else, but they're staying in the United States. Now multiply that times thousands and thousands of companies. That's what you're talking about. You're not talking about 100 companies or 10. You're talking about thousands of companies have left. Thousands of companies are being killed by monetary manipulation. Okay? Thousands. We're not going to let this happen. Remember this. China, we have rebuilt China. They have taken so much. You know, we owe China now $1.7 trillion. Think of it. They beat us at every front. They kicked the hell out of us, and we owe them money. How about Japan? We owe Japan $1.6 trillion. Now think of that one. They sell the cars, the big boats come in, the biggest ships you've ever seen. I mean, if Wayne Newton could ever get his big audiences onto one of those ships, you would be very proud. I'm telling you, Wayne. Wayne, would you stand up again? Come here. Frick. I mean, we love this guy. We love Wayne. We love our... You know, it's sort of like a weird experience because all of my life I've been watching Wayne Newton and now I'm performing for him. What the hell is going on over here? And the problem is, I like him better than I like myself. So anyway, so all of this is going to come back. Now, you have people in both parties that don't like the things I'm saying, okay? You have people in both parties. But you know, because I have the smartest people. A lot of people are saying that. That's even showing up. I have the most dedicated people. I have the best people. I have the best people. I have the best people. And they get it. But a lot of people don't like strong borders. They don't want the wall. We're going to have the wall, folks. We've got to have the wall. We're going to have the wall. And the wall is going to stop drug trafficking. It's going to help with the drug. You know, the drugs are pouring into our country and poisoning our youth and others beyond what anybody has any idea. If you look at New Hampshire, which I won. I love New Hampshire because it was my first victory. It's my first victory. I never ran for office. By the way, am I doing a good job? Am I doing a good job? Right? I never did this before. But I love New Hampshire. And the people of New Hampshire got together with me and they said their biggest problem is heroin. I said, heroin? You know, it just doesn't work with the beautiful trees and streams and lakes. I said, heroin. And it turns out to be, they have a tremendous, and they have it in Massachusetts, and they have it in South Carolina. They have it in all of these places. All of these places. And it's pouring across. And 3 weeks ago, 16,500 Border Patrol agents endorsed Donald Trump. They've never, ever endorsed a presidential candidate. And I asked them, and they told me, they said, Mr. Trump, you need the wall. And Sheriff Joe Arpaio, great guy, tough, right? Sheriff Joe from Arizona. In fact, when I finish this, I'm going to Arizona. I'll be in Arizona in a little while doing the same thing with big, big, beautiful crowds. But Sheriff Joe endorsed Donald Trump. Folks, we know what we're doing, okay? We know what we're doing. We are going to make this country so strong again. We're going to save your Social Security. We're going to save your Second Amendment, which Hillary Clinton wants to abolish. Hillary Clinton wants to abolish your Second Amendment. And I got the endorsement of the National Rifle Association, the NRA. One of the earliest endorsements they've ever given. And let me tell you, between Wayne and Chris and all of those people, these are great people. These are people, and it gets lost. It gets lost in the debate. These are people that love our country. Just remember that. These are people that love our country. And you know, I've said before, some people thought it was a harsh statement. But if in Paris, where 130 people died, toughest gun laws in the world, by the way, there were no guns on the other side. These thugs walked in. Probably if they knew there were, they wouldn't have gone in there in the first place, okay? They knew there were no guns. But toughest gun laws in the world, 130 people die. San Bernardino, 14 people die. Friends, they were friends. They killed the 14 people and so many so badly injured. By the way, Paris, the hospitals are still loaded with people. So horrible. And what we had this weekend, if there were a couple of folks, man, woman, had a gun strapped right here, right here, right here. Or a gun strapped very nicely to the ankle. And this no good, sick, perverted, horrible terrorist was in there starting the shooting. One of those people would have had those bullets going the other way, folks. It would have been a whole different story. Would have been a whole different story. So we're going to make our nation rich again. We're a poor nation. We lose to everybody. We defend Japan. They don't pay us the right money. They will. They will. You know, the press never says the second. I said, no. In a deal, you always have to be prepared to walk. They'll tell you that. You always have to be prepared. Not that you want to walk, but you have to be prepared. So here's Hillary Clinton when she heard about what I said about Japan. He is not being loyal to our allies. We will always stay with our allies. Well, now, they're never going to negotiate. Why would they negotiate? Why? But we have all of these nations that we defend. South Korea. Try buying a television outside of South Korea. Not easy. I buy thousands and thousands of television sets. Very tough to buy them outside of South Korea, except for Sony, which is not doing so well lately, okay? From Japan. But let me just tell you, South Korea, we defend. Costs us a fortune. They pay something, but not what they should be paying. Japan, we defend. Billions and billions of dollars. A general gets up. Donald Trump is wrong. He was sent by Obama. Nice looking guy, general. He said, doesn't he understand that Japan pays us 50% of the cost? So he's saying Japan pays us 50% of the cost of their defense. So the press called me up, Mr. Trump, they said that Japan pays 50% of the cost. How do you respond? I said, why don't they pay 100%, right? Right? I mean, we're defending Japan. So we defend Germany. Think Germany's a rich nation? I want to tell you, it's a rich nation. But I'll tell you what, gonna have problems with what she did, but regardless, rich nation. Now, we have Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, when the oil prices were high, was making $1 billion a day. We pay rent on our basis. We pay them rent. We defend Saudi Arabia. Now listen, Saudi Arabia, I have a lot of friends from Saudi Arabia, all that stuff, right? But you know what? This is a country that has nothing but money. They have nothing but money. Not strong defense. That if we weren't there, they would have been gone 25 years ago, okay? 25 years ago. You remember the incident with Iraq, when Iraq went into Kuwait, and then they started looking at Saudi Arabia, and the Saudis didn't do so well, and then we had those Marines of ours with the stuff under their eyes, and boy, that was the end of that. Remember that? People forget these little stories, folks. So we defend Saudi Arabia. They don't pay us nearly what they should be paying. So essentially, we subsidize all of these countries. South Korea, with this guy, call him a maniac, call him whatever you want. Every time he raises his hand or raises his head, we send our ships, our planes, or this. We have 28,000 soldiers on the line between North and South Korea. They pay us peanuts. How stupid are we? How stupid are we? A country like Saudi Arabia wouldn't exist for a week. You know, when Iran took over Yemen, they don't want Yemen. They want the border because it's a huge, long border between Saudi. They want the oil in Saudi Arabia. That's why they fight for Yemen. That's why they're in there fighting. Think of this. We're making a deal with Iran, and we're fighting Iran in Yemen. When you make the deal, aren't you supposed to sort of solve everything? And Kerry said he didn't want to bring it up because he didn't want to complicate the negotiation. This guy's an idiot. Now think of it. Yemen. We're fighting them. They're on the other side. We're on one side. We don't know whose side we're on because, we're on the side of the rebels. We have no idea who the rebels are. You ever see all our rebels? Our rebels turned out to be worse than the guys that were there in the first place. We're on the side of the rebels. And then the rebels turn out to be like the worst. But we're fighting Iran. They're on the other side. And we're fighting, and he's out there negotiating. Then he goes on a bicycle race. He breaks his leg at 73. And I tell people, I give you my word, I will never enter a bicycle race, I promise, during a major negotiation. I mean, the guy comes out, he's got a whole thing with the outfit, the helmet, the whole deal, right? The helmet, I think he even had the stickers on him, right? I said, what is this guy? He thinks he's in the Tour de France or something. What is he doing? We're in the middle of a very important negotiation that, frankly, he should have walked away from until we got our prisoners back. And he should have never agreed to give back the $150 billion. But here's a guy in the middle of a negotiation, breaks his leg, and he's out of business. I mean, I can't tell you, folks. It is, and I think the reason I have this tremendous support is because, you know what? A lot of it's common sense, okay? A lot of it's common sense. It's not even like, you can say he's a great businessman. A lot of it's common sense. 99% of the people in this room would do just as well. I mean, it's like simple stuff. We're being led by people that don't know what they're doing. Now, here's what's going to happen. So we're going to start winning again. We're going to have strong borders. We're going to have the wall. We're going to be respected again. We're going to win with our military. We're going to knock the hell out of ISIS. We have to do that, folks. That I have to tell you. Normally, I would say no. But it's gotten to a point, and because of the power of weaponry, we have to do that. We really have no choice. So we're going to knock the hell out of them. But our military is totally depleted. You see our old jets where we're taking parts from airplane graveyards and museums. We have the planes in the museums and we're using them as our fighters. And other countries have modern fighter jets. This is the United States of America. Can you believe what's happening to us? So our military is depleted. Horribly depleted, smaller than it's been in many, many years. And it's probably got to be bigger right now because I don't know if there's ever been much more of a threat than we have right now. So we're going to build up our military with the equipment that we want. We're going to take care of our veterans because our veterans have been horribly, horribly treated. We're going to make great, great trade deals and we're going to bring jobs and money back into our country. We're going to create a border and borders generally that are strong and powerful. We're going to get rid of Common Core and we're going to bring our education locally. We're going to repeal and replace that horror show called Obamacare. And we are going to save our Second Amendment. We are going to save it. So, folks, you've heard it before, and I say it all the time. We don't win anymore, but we're going to win so much. And I love it. And I'll say it in honor of the people of Las Vegas, in honor of Mr. and Mrs. Wayne Newton, in honor of Miriam, in honor of Mr. and Mrs. Phil Ruffin, and in honor of everybody in all. Wow, look at this place. Ooh. TSA finally came through for us. Look at the corners of those rooms. Look at the corners of those rooms. What a beautiful sight. All over the building. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to start winning again. We're going to win with our military. We're going to win for our vets. We're going to win on education. We're going to win on trade. We're going to win, win, win. We're going to win so much. And I'll be in the White House, and they'll say, Mr. President, sir, we have a problem. Thousands of people from Las Vegas, from Nevada, from Texas, where we just left, from all of the states, by the thousands, they're calling, sir. They can't stand winning so much. They're not used to winning. They want you to take it easy. And I'll say, I'm sorry, folks, I can't do that, because we are going to make America great again, greater than ever before. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you.
All right, I would like to thank everybody that was on the stream. Thank you for choosing us as your stream of choice. I would like to give a few shout outs to a few new community members who subscribed. Recently, we got Rebel Thunder, we got Danny Curtin, Phil, Allison, Bad Santa, and Blake. Thank you very much, guys, for joining the community. We are glad that you are on board. If you would like to join the community, please hit that subscribe button. If you don't want to subscribe, a thumbs up is more than enough. We have another rally coming up. That one is at 4 p.m. That's Pacific. So that is roughly in 3 hours and a half. So join us for that. If you hit the notification thing on our channel, you'll know exactly when we will start streaming. Right now, after we finish each rally, there is going to be like an hour's worth of free chat if you just want to chill, listening to some music and talk to other like-minded people and Trump supporters and all that stuff. If you guys want to catch up, you can do so now. Links are permitted, so if you want to put in some links of some, articles or videos that you want people to check out. If you have a YouTube channel, you can promote it here now, but just make sure that you hit that subscribe button if you're going to promote your channel. It's a give and take kind of thing. So you can do that too, but only at the chat, only after the rallies. If you do it during the rallies, you will be banned. Just letting you guys know, that's one of our rules. No links while Trump is on. Thank you very much, and enjoy the chat. All right, guys. So I guess I'm gonna shut down this this stream right now to give a chance to people that didn't get here on time or only watched it halfway to finish watching it or rewatch whatever part they missed. So so I can let YouTube upload it. But please join us for the next stream. That is like in around 3 hours and a half, give or take. It's going to be from Phoenix, Arizona. And there's a lot of tweets and a lot of different things saying that Bikers for Trump are going to be around because they know that the people down in Phoenix are going to cause trouble. It has one of the highest Mexican populations in the country. So you know that Bernie Sanders terrorists are going to be out there causing problems. So the bikers are there to kind of calm things down and make sure that those terrorists don't, don't hurt people and do their terrorist activities. So yeah, so if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you click the annotation for with the little bell to give you notifications when we will be back on. We have a 24/7 chat. Hopefully Jave or somebody on the one of our moderators will put up the link. If you guys want to hop on over there and continue the chat, that'd be great. I just need to upload this stream for those that missed it. Thank you very much. Hope to see you later. Thank you for choosing us as your stream of choice. Thank you to all my moderators for keeping the chat clean, enjoyable for everyone. Hope to see you in a little bit.